Welcome to part 7 in my quest to collect every sapphire metal in the game. We are over halfway through, as I have gotten 10 more sapphires to bring the total up to 70. While getting these medals did take me about a month, I had a lot more fun with these medals overall compared to last part, despite the fact that these levels are of similar difficulty, being some of the hardest medals to get. My focus on getting new medals means that once again, there weren't many levels improved on that I already showcased. There were other levels that I considered playing, but didn't get around to by the time I got Sapphire number 70. So with this intro out of the way, let's see what levels I chose to play, starting with This is a level I thought would be harder to get than it turned out to be, since it was a tough grind to get the amethyst. But since I already did the fastest barrel deflection and I gotten very used to it, the hardest part of the level was reasonable for me. I had to learn the other parts from a tutorial, which was annoying. The ascent was tricky in knowing where to go with the right amount of boost, and I missed the phantom I was trying to get, but it turned out okay since a lot of my previous runs overshot the last platform and I had to slow down to get back on track. The next part was okay. The barrel shot ended up being more annoying than losing sight of the Guardian due to the variance in when you jumped. There ended up being many places where my movement was suboptimal, so I know that it's possible to improve this time. I'm just not sure if I'm willing to do so.
I just keep getting better and better.
I chose to do this level over other difficult Chapter 9 levels due to requiring a reroute since my old route wasn't going to cut it. While I considered other routes, I figured all of them would take the same time and difficulty to master, so I went for the world record route. Obviously, the long distance snipes are brutal, but I didn't realize the movement was just as difficult if you wanted a fast time. My first Sapphire time was so bad, and so close to the time that I decided to go again for a better time, but even still I had multiple mistakes and could improve by a large margin if I put time and effort into it. Overall, this level was exactly what I was expecting, and it became fun once I got the motions down and relied on my aiming to finish a run.
That's how it's done.
This is another divisive level with the snipes coming so early into the game, and this time I'm on the hater's side. I had already learned the world record route, so that wasn't an issue, it just came down to refining my movement. I really wanted to continue using 3 shots for the far jumper, but the bullets needed at the end became too much of an issue, so I reduced it to 2. It ended up being fine since I knew where to aim. I actually wanted to land on the top platform, since every time I ended up clearing the platform, it would instantly fail due to not knowing what to do. The last jumper made an issue, but I had a hard time killing the jumper before touching the goal, meaning runs that would have been Sapphire failed to do so. One of those runs was within 0.1 seconds of the Sapphire time that wasn't it, so this level gets added to a list of similar levels to show how unlucky I got with this grind. While there are far fewer levels in this part that made the list, I will still keep future references brief. Like when I got the amethyst, I'm just glad I got the sapphire because I'm not interested in improving this one further.
Let's see anyone beat that.
This is a level that many people enjoy, but I just find it too difficult. Like with Canals, I had previous experience with the route I ended up using for the Sapphire. There was a free time save in my Godstreak discards, and the level remains fine until the 3 barrels. I had a very difficult time understanding the timing of the barrels, and continued to miss them or hit them too slow for a Sapphire DNF. That is immediately followed by the ringer shots, which still remained inconsistent due to the fast turnaround, and the salivate ending, which was annoying in both aiming the bomb and remaining in the stomp state after throwing the bomb. The Sapphire time got slightly nerfed, and I think that decision a lot since I got the Sapphire to the exact millisecond. Like with a lot of levels this part, the grind was based on getting one good run of a very difficult route, but this route was a lot less fun than the others.
Let's see anyone beat that.
I did this level with the permit since they were the last 2 Sapphires in column 10 that I needed, so now I have another column sweep. There was a slight reroute I needed to take, which sounded fine, but the balloon shots ended up being extremely annoying since the window to hit one was very tiny and would shrink if I didn't immediately hit it. Aiming the rockets before the launch was a little weird. I think I can do it better, but I'm not sure. The angle afterwards was also weird, and it turned out to be better going straight rather than taking a direct line, and I also switched from ziplining the barrel to the Guardian since that would also work. And despite the Dominion card being my favorite, I'm still not used to shooting them at the fastest speed, so I struggled getting good final ascents. The grind was slow and painful. I racked up thousands of attempts with the start and got the several on the list due to not understanding the ending. This is not one of my favorite Dominion levels, and I'm fine with not improving this level anymore.
It's 'cause I'm the best.
This level is in contention of being the hardest Book of Life level in the Sapphire due to the short but fast-paced nature of the level. I was forced to learn the world record route, which involved a booth unlike anything else I have done, in which I needed to sacrifice some time to get a better lineup. The immediate turnaround was also difficult due to there being a Guardian in the way. I needed all of that to be fast though, because any time loss had to be in the end, with 2 booths that are completely blind and near impossible to get instantly. I adopted a strategy to get the Frog booth faster, which paid off in the end, with the Guardian booth losing over 0.1 seconds. I spent a while trying to get an initial PB better than Barely Amethyst, and slowly whittled that down to a list inclusion. This level ended up not being as annoying as I initially thought, but it was still a Book of Life level and not really being my thing.
Hey Red, did you see that?
These next 4 Sapphires are less difficult than the previous levels, so I got all of them fairly quickly, but were still worthy of being in this skill improvement section. For this level, I considered both strategies capable of getting the Sapphire, but ultimately went with the world record route due to the increased leniency. Obviously, the entire difficulty came with the water boost. The first boost was fine and even somewhat consistent, but I struggled with getting and maintaining the second one. There was also the addition of killing the bubbles and ringers, which was hard, and aiming the Purify bomb deflect, which was fine but unintuitive. My last PB got on the list, and this run wasn't anything special, so I might consider playing this one further, but I'm not in a rush to improve any level. This level has seen a massive change since I last covered it. This is now technically my last amethyst, since both times got buffed heavily, and I waited until after the times got changed to start playing the level. There were other things beyond the hyper jump that I had to change, like trying for an above water boost, which was really difficult to do since the timing is very strict, or landing on an invisible ledge, which I do differently than everyone else. Then there's the issue of the hyper jump itself, which varies in consistency. I tried getting this sapphire much earlier, but I'd forgotten how to do the trick and couldn't get a PB. As it turned out, the thing was simply to click faster, with an additional idea to not move your camera too far. After that, it's a simple timing of the glass, and that's another sapphire down.
That's how it's done.
Sweet baby.
With my experience on Trip Track, getting shock reduced was much more comfortable for me, so I decided to try something a little harder. I also went with the faster route because it felt easier to do and was also just faster. Timing the fireball collection was somewhat tough, and the balloon knife was just awkward in order to not kill both balloons, but the hardest part was obviously the ending. Not only do you have to do the shocker tube, but you also have to do 3 far snipes, which I thought I had a lot of practice with my previous route, but apparently did not. It just came down to throwing yourself to the ending over and over again until you finally hit everything once, and that was enough to get a very nice sapphire medal.
That's how it's done.
Apparently, my old fears about getting the emerald medal were still here because the sapphire was as easy as getting the amethyst was. I wasn't sure if I needed the frog deflection to get the medal, so I tried it, but didn't know where to aim and didn't get it until after I had already gotten the medal. The time save instead came from my ending, which was easily the best I have ever done that part, combining the bullet boost and phantom extremely quickly and getting them grounded as well. This level ended up on the list, but with it being an extremely short level, that was to be expected. The grind ended up being done so fast that I have nothing else to say about the level. And that's a wrap for this part. We now have 70 sapphire medals. This has really given me a second win to continue getting what remains. The next part will be the end of the middle third, and that means 10 more of the hardest medals left. After that, the difficulty will really see a decrease, and the speed of these videos should hopefully come sooner because of it. So I'll get back to doing what I do. Thank you for watching.